Hello, party people. My name is Krista Keogh, and you're listening to Granted, the podcast that puts the fun in funding. This is so awesome. We're in the studio here today with myself, Krista Keogh, your host, and my co-producer in crime, John Mullane.
Hi, everyone.
Woo! So we're excited because we have a bunch of news to share.
We do.
Yeah. We are wrapping up the end of our season for Granted, and it's been a complete whirlwind and so much fun. And, I've taken a lot away from it, but what do you think about the season, John? Did you love it?
I think I've learned so much about people's perspectives and just reiterating the thing that I somehow forget all the time, that everyone is just so different with where they're coming from. And hearing different perspectives is so great. So for me, just the takeaway from this season so far was how people just approach funding differently, and frankly, I really enjoyed the critique of the funding systems that are in place. It turned into a pretty big critique this year, and I think critique and criticism is good in society. So I was really excited about hearing, how we can make it better, why it's not working for some people. I think on average, it's not serving any one person, 100%. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And I know when you and I first talked about this at the start of the year, it's hard to believe it was that long ago. I remember saying to you, this is an idea to do a podcast about funding. And I had no idea, even at the time, how many people had opinions and feelings and thoughts about funding. I think that's been super exciting to see. People are really knowledgeable. And I think it's just becoming more well-known, these funding programs and how they operate, and sort of more behind the scenes. So this was able to add to it.
I agree. And, the amount of DMs and we would get just from friends. We won't say who was saying what. That was basically saying, I agree with this so much, and this is a problem. And, people were coming out of the woodwork, people that are our friends and who are in the middle of music careers, saying, this has not been talked about. So
yeah,
that really caught me off guard.
Me too.
In particular, after my episode and after Tara's episode and a couple others.
Yeah.
People just coming out of the woodwork, talking about how they identify with some of the challenges that funding was presenting them, and that was really cool, and I didn't expect that. So.
I didn't either. I knew a podcast, it goes out into the world, people listen to it, but you're right, I've been so thrilled, and I think that's one of the most amazing parts that was unexpected, that people are reaching out to us, and we've even had a lot of people reach out to want to be on the podcast too. So that's really exciting.
That was really cool.
Yeah, even from places like Toronto, bigger cities, not just in Atlantic Canada. So that was really interesting. But our fans, it's so cool. We would release the podcasts in the morning on Thursday, but you and I were working on them and things the night before, and there were some episodes I remember that would go out even, they would be live before I would get a chance to say they're live, and we would have our listeners, they got the notification, they listened through already, and they were already commenting on social media about it before we even said it was out.
Pretty cool. And the time that I released an episode on Monday by mistake, that was cool.
Yeah,
so maybe someone heard that. It was live for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is funny. Learning curve.
Yeah,
it's been great. And like you said, people are who are in the arts and in music are finding, I think they're finding a sounding board. Beyond funding, talking about music career stuff is coming up too, which I was really encouraged about. So, we always thought this was about more than funding. Funding was just the way in. So I think we've got a lot of people reaching out to us about the challenges of their music careers, and funding is obviously a big part of that. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was really cool to see. So, should we talk about the big thing we're doing?
What? Our big news for the last episode? That's right. This is very exciting. Okay, do you want to say it?
You could say it.
What do you say?
I don't know if I have the date right, but I think it's October 18th. So.
Yeah, you're right. It's Friday, October 18th, and we are doing a live podcast recording of Granted.
Yeah. Yay! So that's going to be fun. We're going to do a live episode with Laura Simpson as our guest, and we're going to do it. And we have some tickets on sale. Can you tell people the ticket information?
It's sidedooraccess.com. And you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Granted Podcast, so you can get the link too. But Laura is the founder of a company called Side Door, and they book artists, online artists, with people who have venues, which are their homes or community spaces, and they basically match artists with people who put on shows.
It's going to be cool. And Laura used to be the funding officer for Music Nova Scotia, so we are going to get her to dish as much as she can on that side of things. And we have tickets on sale. They're $10, and it's a limited capacity, so as soon as you hear this, I think you'll be able to go get them. Yeah, it'll be live at that point. So go get those tickets if you're one of the rabid fans. It'll be recorded here in Halifax.
Yeah, it's going to be
in the
at
North End. So we'll get more information to you about some musical guests as well who are going to be playing. So
that's right. We have musical guests.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. So we're excited about the guests that we have booked, but we're going to release those in a few days.
Yes, and we're doing the show in partnership with CKDU.
Absolutely.
88.1 FM in Halifax.
So CKDU's on board. We're going to have cupcakes, maybe.
I think we're going to do a bake sale as a fundraiser.
There'll be lots of baked goods.
Yeah, if you like sweets.
Family friendly.
It is family friendly. You can bring some beverages of your choice to enjoy while you're there.
Yep.
And
Kool-Aid, chamomile
some chamomile tea. Yeah, or peppermint, lavender tea, maybe, if that's a thing.
Root beer.
Yeah, you can bring all of those things. Whatever you feel like it. So it's Friday, October 18th. You can buy tickets at sidedooraccess.com. It's in Halifax. The venue's in the North End. And it's Laura's home, which is also so huge of her to allow us in her home. It's also a venue. And we're going to have music. And and the show is at 8. The doors are at 7, so come early when you get your tickets because there is mostly seating, but there's some standing room only. So we're hoping.
And we want you to get your tickets. So we're going to, if you're still listening, we still have people listening this far into this promo. We love you, and get your tickets.
Yeah, we love you guys. Okay. Thank you all for listening.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast wherever you like to listen to podcasts so you never miss a new episode of Granted. Produced by Chris Takio and John Mullane at John's Studio in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Follow us on social media. We are at Granted Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and you can follow us on Twitter at Granted_podcast.